Contagion is spreading, but is it a bad thing? After 2 days of silence, we finally heard from Sam Bankman-Fried, and his tone was predictable. A Twitter thread said he was sorry more than once, and he admitted to making mistakes, especially with over-leveraging client funds. He seemingly put that down to misunderstanding accounts and added that he was working to try and make FTX customers whole. There was also a suggestion that a buyout could yet materialize, as we told you in our previous episode. He said there were, quote, a number of players that they were in talks with, but any sort of rescue likely won't get everyone's money back. There's disquiet as well over FTX's deal with Justin Sun's Tron that claims to provide a credit facility for some tokens to be moved across from FTX. Tom Carreras at cryptobriefing.com called the scheme, quote, highly suspicious. The other issue is that whatever happens with FTX now, contagion already looks to be spreading. Early Friday, crypto lender BlockFi said it was halting withdrawals. It blamed the lack of clarity at FTX and claimed it was, quote, shocked and dismayed by what had happened, but unable to operate as a result. BlockFi, don't forget, needed a bailout of its own from FTX in June worth about $250 million. Crypto.com also said it was stopping withdrawals, although only of stablecoins USDC and USDT on the Solana blockchain. The move's rationale was an abundance of caution, according to CEO Chris Marsalek. Solana continues to be a big worry for many, given the huge backing and ownership positions held by FTX and SBF personally. Meanwhile, Coinbase has said it was safe from contagion and has since seen investment come in from the likes of Cathie Wood's ARK Invest, but it also announced on Thursday it was cutting 60 jobs, the second round of cuts at Coinbase this year. Apprehension among investors is growing too, and let us know how concerned you are in the comments. We've seen that worry in moves in crypto prices this week. This is Lachlan Feeney from Australian blockchain agency Labris.
If this all blows up and gets worse and doesn't get saved, who knows which funds and the ecosystem as a whole are going to go under if FTX goes under. And so I think that's what the markets are worried about at the moment.
But while some are warning there could be worse to come, there's also suggestions that all of this could ultimately be for the best. Here's Ben Caselin from crypto exchange AAX.
Things are quite tense at the moment at some of the bigger players in the market. And that's not something we should wish for. It's not something we should hope for. We should not celebrate it. It's terrible. I think the whole situation is terrible. But again, the market is telling us, hey, reconsider your ways, right? This space has 25,000 tokens, not sustainable.
And it's this point that keeps coming up when we've been talking to people this week. What SBF was doing was wrong. He has just said as much. But his actions aren't unique or even unusual, and crypto needs to change. Don't forget, we are still only a few months on from the bankruptcies of Three Arrows Capital, Voyager Digital, and Celsius, and those all seem to be the result of similar behavior that we've seen at FTX. Some have also been comparing SBF and Do Kwon and suggesting this could be another version of what we saw with Terra Luna. Others see similar things behind both cases. Ultimately, all of this could take years to fix. Just look at Mt. Gox, which filed for bankruptcy in 2014. Only recently have creditors in that been promised any sort of compensation.
When I look at Alameda's holdings, I see a negligible amount of Bitcoin. I see Shiba. I see a lot of frivolous tokens and some DeFi tokens. Okay, if you believe that's where the space is headed in the future, then that would be the investment strategy, right? But I generally don't look at that and think, wow, that's a very solid strategy.
Now, FTX has said it's begun allowing some withdrawals after complying with regulators. SBF has also claimed that FTX US users are, quote, fine and fully able to withdraw their funds. Regulators, though, only look like they are just getting started. The Securities Commission of the Bahamas has said it's frozen FTX assets as of Thursday. California's financial regulator has announced it's investigating FTX as well, becoming the first US state to do so. It joins the US Justice Department, the CFTC, and the Securities and Exchange Commission, who are all conducting their own probes too. Speaking to CNBC on Thursday, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said he believed FTX's behavior was part of a pattern in crypto and that stricter rules and enforcement were desperately needed. Gensler's relationship with SBF, by the way, has also been questioned by some. Things this year have been, frankly, unreal. Should you be worried about what's happening right now? Absolutely. But don't think this means the end for crypto. Here's Kevin O'Leary.
Crypto is not going away. It's not going away. It'll take this hit, it'll move on, because the promise, the productivity, the attributes of it are so powerful and so disruptive that they deserve a place on the international financial services stage. It's just a matter of when are we going to get that regulation.
You need to stay up to date on what's happening with FTX, and we at Forkast are trying our hardest to do that for you. Like and subscribe to this video to get notified about our coverage of the rest of the fallout from this shocking collapse. You can hear more from Kevin O'Leary, by the way, at Forkast's Crypto Rising live stream event next week. That's happening at 9 p.m. Eastern, November the 14th, 9 a.m. Hong Kong time. November the 15th, Forkast Editor-in-Chief Angie Lau is going to be talking about why some are still betting big despite the crypto winter. Sign up at Forkast.News or by clicking on the link in the description below.